What is React? React is a popular JavaScript library for building user interfaces. It allows developers to create reusable UI components and efficiently manage the state of the application, making it easier to build complex and interactive web applications. What are the benefits of using React? React offers several benefits, including reusability of code components, enhanced performance through virtual DOM, improved code stability with a unidirectional data flow, simplified debugging and error tracking through the use of JSX, wide community support and a vast collection of third-party libraries and tools. What is JSX in React? JSX is a syntax extension for JavaScript that allows developers to write HTML-like code directly in their JavaScript code. It is commonly used in React to describe the user interface of a component. JSX makes it easier to write and understand code by combining HTML structure and JavaScript logic. It gets compiled into plain JavaScript code, which can be executed by the browser. How do you create a React component? To create a React component, you can create a JavaScript function or class that returns a React element or JSX. The function or class should accept props as an argument, which can be used to customize the behavior or appearance of the component. For example, a simple React component can be created as follows. JavaScript. Copy code. Import React from React. Function myComponent, props. Return div hello, props.name/div. Export default myComponent. This creates a functional component called myComponent that accepts a prop called name and displays a greeting message using the value of name. This component can be used in other parts of the application by importing it and rendering it as a regular HTML element, like this. JavaScript. Import React from React. Import React DOM from React DOM. Import myComponent from /myComponent. React DOM.render, myComponent name equals John / document.getElementById, root. What is the difference between functional and class components in React? In React, there are two types of components, functional and class components. The main difference between these two types of components is the syntax and how they handle state and lifecycle methods. Functional components are simpler and have a more concise syntax than class components. They are just JavaScript functions that receive props as their first argument and return a React element. They do not have a state and do not use lifecycle methods. Functional components are preferred for simple components that do not need to manage state or use lifecycle methods. Here is an example of a functional component in React. JavaScript. Function greeting, props. Return h1 hello, props.name/h1. Class components, on the other hand, are more powerful and can manage state and use lifecycle methods. They are created using ES6 classes and extend the React component class. Class components have a render method that returns a React element, and they can use state to store data that can be updated over time. They can also use lifecycle methods like component didMount to interact with the DOM and other components. Here is an example of a class component in React. JavaScript. Class greeting extends React component. Constructor, props. Super, props. This state equals name, props.name. Component didMount. Console.log, component mounted. Render. Return h1 hello, this.state.name/h1. In general, if you don't need to manage state or use lifecycle methods, you should use a functional component. If you need to manage state or use lifecycle methods, you should use a class component. However, with the introduction of React hooks, functional components have become more powerful and can now handle state and lifecycle methods. How do you pass data to a React component? In React, you can pass data to a component through its props. Props are short for properties, and they are essentially an object of key-value pairs that get passed as an argument to the component. To pass data to a component as props, you simply add attributes to the component when it is rendered. For example, PHP. My component SomeProp equals some value another prop equals 2 /. In this example, my component is a React component, and it is being passed two props, SomeProp and another prop. SomeProp is a string with the value some value, and another prop is a number with the value 2. Inside the myComponent component, you can access these props by referring to this.props.someProp and this.props.anotherProp, respectively. JavaScript. Class myComponent extends React component. Render. Return. div. P SomeProp, this.props.someProp, /p. P another prop, this.props.anotherProp, /p. /div. In this example, the myComponent component is rendering two paragraphs that display the values of the SomeProp and anotherProp props. What is the state of React? In React, a state is a JavaScript object that stores component-specific data that can be updated and rendered dynamically based on user actions or other changes in the application. A state can be defined and initialized in a component's constructor or as a class property and can be updated using the setState method provided by React. Changes to the state trigger a re-rendering of the component and its children, allowing for dynamic and responsive user interfaces. How do you update the state in React? In React, state can be updated using the setState method, which takes an object containing the updated state values as an argument. The new state values will be merged with the existing state values, and any components that rely on the state will be re-rendered with the updated values. It's important to note that the setState method should not be called directly, but instead should be invoked through an event handler or lifecycle method to ensure that the update is properly synchronized with React's rendering cycle. What is the difference between state and props in React? In React, state is used to manage data that can change over time within a component. State is typically initialized within the constructor of a component and can be updated using the setState method. Props, on the other hand, are passed to a component from its parent component and are used to customize the behavior and appearance of a component. Props are read-only and cannot be changed within the component. In short, state is used for internal component state management, while props are used for passing data and behavior to child components. How do you pass props to a component in React? In React, you pass props to a component by adding them as attributes to the component's JSX tag. For example, PHP. myComponent prop1 equals value 1 prop2 equals variable 2 /. In this example, myComponent is the name of the component being rendered, and prop1 and prop2 are the names of the props being passed to the component. Prop1 is being passed a string value of value 1, while prop2 is being passed a variable named variable 2. Within the component, these props can be accessed using the props object, like this. JavaScript. Function myComponent, props. Return. div. P, props.prop1, /p. P, props.prop2, /p. /div. In this example, the value of props.prop1 would be value 1, and the value of props.prop2 would be the value of variable 2. What is the purpose of keys in React? In React, keys are used to identify and differentiate between elements in a collection, such as an array of components, that are being rendered dynamically. The purpose of keys is to help React identify which elements have changed, been added, or been removed, so that it can efficiently update the UI without re-rendering everything. Keys should be unique among siblings and stable over time. Thanks for watching. For more information, like, comment, and subscribe our channel.